Brethren, I pray you sing a new song. Sing praise in the assembly of the righteous. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hands to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishments on those peoples, to bind their kings with chains. Dishonor have all his saints. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Sing to him a new song.
Unto the world and them that dwell therein.
Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
Don't we see that happening right now? Hey, brother. Hey, you right there.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name.
Hey, don't we see?
Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Are you praying out in the open?
Temptation,
are you praying out in the open?
I am.
Get that, bro. Let me show you something right quick.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Let me show you something right quick.
Hypocritical.
Hypocrite, you praying out in the open. You're the hypocrite. This is what we talking about. You don't know the Bible, so you running off now. Yeah, right. Read that.
John 3:16. God so loved the world that he gave his
This is
only
Matthew
begotten
chapter
Son,
5, Matthew chapter 6, verse 5.
Right.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites.
You just call us a hypocrite, but the Bible calling you a hypocrite.
For they love to pray standing in the synagogues.
Right.
And in the corners of the streets.
And that's exactly what this man right here is doing. He think praying out here is make him a righteous man.
That they
it just shows that you're the hypocrite.
That they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Right, which is nothing. You have your reward, which is nothing.
Bang.
According to who?
According to the Bible. It just said you have your reward.
Matthew 6,
How do you know what my reward is?
Your reward is, we're going to show you what your reward is. Go to Revelation 13 and 10. Let us show you what your reward is according to the Bible.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right, so you led us in captivity, you and your people, and builded this corrupt foundation that you have with this judicial system, the branches, all of this. And y'all enjoying it, right? This is your reward. But there's something that comes with that also. Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right, so that means you have to go into slavery, and the people, it might be you, who kill with the sword, they gotta be killed with the sword.
Who lives by the sword and dies by the sword?
Your people.
My people.
Your people. You go around rape, robbing, murdering the whole earth.
God created.
Y'all killing the animals in the sea, on the land.
And
all
who
of
are
these.
they?
Who?
God created man in his image. Their image.
Not you. Does the Most High does what you
and the
do.
Holy Spirit.
Get that. Let's go ahead and get that.
We're all
this is the
creation.
book of Exodus chapter.
We just talking, bro. Come here.
We're all creation.
All right.
We are all God's creatures.
All right, get that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21.
Listen to this while you walking off.
And he that stealeth a man,
he that stealeth a man, who stole a man and sold him. Who did that? What nation of people?
Wouldn't that be considered a crime?
I'm asking you a question.
And I'm giving you a reply with a question.
No, that's not how it works. You answer. If you know the Bible tells you to have an answer for all questions, right?
Okay.
So answer the question. Who did this to? Who done this? Period.
Well, there's 12 tribes of Israel.
I asked you a question.
Who did it?
Right. Read it one more time, bro.
he that stealeth a man and said of him,
Who did this? Look, come here. Look at this sign. And then tell me who did this.
I don't know who did that.
You don't know who did it?
No. Who did
God,
that?
he that stealeth a man and said of him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
He shall surely be put to death. So are y'all being put to death for this happening right now?
Does that give a description of the people? What does that scripture say? Does it give the description of Caucasian?
What's that scripture?
Where's that person at? Okay, that didn't.
Hold on, where you going? You running?
I'm not running.
All right, then stay gone then, bruh.
Go ahead.
God, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. He that leadeth
into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right. We know the so-called all nations led us into captivity. But the white man is our chief adversary, our chief enemy who led us into captivity.
God.
They did the most horriblest things that they want us to forgive them for. Hell no, we ain't doing that. That's just how it goes. Y'all got to go into slavery next, whether y'all believe it or not, because y'all have not received judgment for it. Thus said the Bible.
Go ahead. This is Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land.
Right, so wouldn't you say y'all is the ones who polluted this land, who y'all stole from the Native Indians? Y'all stole it from them and then polluted it by killing the blacks. And y'all think y'all just gonna get away with it. That's not happening.
Go ahead. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Right, so the blood cannot be cleansed of the blood of him that shed, of them people who y'all's blood y'all shed. It can only be shed by you so-called white people and y'all's children. That's how the blood is going to be shed.
Right. God, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulations to them that trouble you. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulations to them that trouble you.
Right, it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation that trouble you. First, we gonna put y'all in slavery. But it's a righteous thing to the Most High God to trouble y'all through y'all whole captivity before y'all get burnt off the earth. We gonna torture the hell out of y'all in captivity. It ain't gotta be about whipping y'all backs all day. That's too easy. We gonna military torture y'all. We gonna use tactics that y'all couldn't even think of. The Most High is gonna put that spirit on us. Even though we already have some of that spirit now, but the Most High gonna give us a deeper mindset of it.
Go ahead, bring that up. Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
Right, so the Most High said prepare slaughter for his children. We're not worried about, even though we would like to get those who actually put us in slavery, it's gonna be a more harsh punishment, taking it out on their children. Read that one more time.
Prepare slaughter. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Right, so like the book of Obadiah say, it says, so they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the world with cities again. Because like we read earlier, when they got in rulership, evils multiplied in the earth. So we have to make sure that these people, these dirty, nasty people, never come back into rulership again.
That's right.
By keeping them at the bottom of society.
That's
We're
right.
going to have y'all in ghettos.
That's right.
And this is thus said the Bible. We're not speaking from our own heart. We're speaking on things we study on a daily basis.
God, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 14. For God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Right, so there's things on this, there's things that y'all done to us that we still ain't figured out. But the Most High knows. Yeah, but the Most High knows. And he hasn't revealed it to us. And he might not, because it might get us too out of our body when we get carnal. Either way, or there's things that's done in secret that y'all really think that y'all got away with that we still don't know. But the Most High knows. And he's going to bring it forth into judgment. And he's going to put it on our spirit to give you double of what you done to us.
Right.
He already got it.
2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in their body, in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or whether it be bad.
Right, so it says, you will be brought before the judgment seat of the Yahweh Shah. Him judging you, Isaiah 66. The Lord judging you is either putting you to death or putting you in captivity. Them are the judgments that you most likely will be looking forward to in these last days.
Isaiah,
We're going to get on some of this judgment when it says you will appear before the judgment seat of Yahweh Shah.
Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
God, this is the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 30 and 31. In the times of this ignorance, God winked at.
Right, so like we read earlier, the Most High will wink. And that goes for you heathens also. If you turn and grab you Israelite and follow after him and serve him in these last days, the Most High might have mercy on you. He might. So that goes for all nations. Matter of fact, get that. 2 Ezra 2:34.
But now commanded all men everywhere to repent.
Right, so the Most High want men everywhere to repent in these last days. He will wink at all the ignorance that you've done. Go ahead.
Because he have anointed a day in which he will judge the world in righteousness by the man whom he have ordained, whereof he have given assurance unto all men in that he have raised him from the dead.
Right, that man who he have ordained is the Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That's that man who he have ordained to judge the world in righteousness. And we about to get on some judgment that Yahweh Shah, when he returns, what he's going to be doing. Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 2 and 44.
66 and 15.
Isaiah 66 and 16. 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Right, so this is where you can start to look and say, hey, maybe God doesn't love the world. So he's going to send his son back to do some damage with fire and by his sword, and he's going to plead with all flesh. It's not literal. It's talking about all the flesh that does not follow the will of his Father. This is what it's talking about. Go ahead.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
He's going to plead with all flesh. Go ahead.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Right. Like it says in the book of Revelation, the blood is going to come up to the horse's bridle. The horse's bridle is to the mouth, on where that metal goes in his mouth, where you use to control the horse. That's the blood of these people on earth. It's going to come all the way up to the horse's bridle. So that lets you know right there, this isn't a game. It's going to be a mass slaughter in these last days. Y'all look at the Holocaust. Y'all look at all these little petty slaughterings. But these end times is going to be a way more vicious slaughtering.
Verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree, in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Right, like we brought up before. You hiding in restaurants, you hiding in your house, you hiding anywhere where you think that you are hiding. This would be considered in the midst behind the garden. You think that like when Adam and Eve did, when they was hiding in the garden. This is the same analogy that he's given. You think that you're hiding in these restaurants and these houses and so forth, but you're not hiding. And the Most High said, you eating these things, you're going to be put to death in these last days.
Right. In the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord.
Right, so you eating any of these abominable foods in these last days, the Most High, it doesn't matter if it's mouse or swine. The Most High's going to treat it the same, and you're going to be put to death in these last days for it. If you do not repent. Let's get that.
God, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18 and 19. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise.
Right, so,
Let no man deceive himself.
right, so you can be deceiving yourself by sitting there and saying, I can pray over my food that the Most High God told you not to eat. Or I can do something, I can say sin is this when we know sin is transgressing his law. And the only reason why y'all do that is because y'all know half the things that y'all do here in America is considered sin.
That's right.
This is why y'all say sin is something else.
That's right. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool.
Right, like the brothers that's coming up to us trying to tell us that he used to be an Israelite and the things that he read in history is all a hoax and it's fake and all this. And that, but the problem is that he don't have no solution on how to fix the problem. But what he do know is he was an Israelite at one time, and the things that we reading out this Bible isn't right, which makes him a fool. That makes him, he think he's wise, but the Most High made him a fool by when those scriptures come out.
God.
That's why he took off running.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
Right.
For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Right. Hey, so can I ask y'all a question? Excuse me. Can I ask you a question? It's just a quick question. Right. Okay, is that it on? That's it.
I didn't ask.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, 234.
Second Ezra 2 and 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathens, that hear and understand.
Right, so all you heathens that hear and understand the words of the Most High, he obviously put it on your spirit to know for a reason, to give you a chance to serve the real Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of.
Look for your shepherd.
Look for your shepherd, like how Yahweh who the world calls Jesus is our shepherd. You're supposed to look for your shepherd, which is us. You serve the Most High through us. This is how you get your salvation, which is not going to be nearly the salvation you think it is. Go ahead.
He shall give you everlasting rest.
Right. Everlasting rest. You don't have to go through this destruction that the Most High has set up for the world. You might still get a severe punishment for it, but when we go into this rest, you will be in captivity, but you will get your rest also. You got something?
God. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, For as much as this people draw near to me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by precepts of men.
Right, so, and that's a perfect precept. So, let's ask, hey brother right there, do you believe in the Bible? You believe in God?
Yes.
Are you a sinner?
Yes.
You a sinner? Okay, so get John out here. I got a shot. Let me show you something right quick.
This is the book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
So if you're a sinner, the Most High ain't hearing you, even if you pray or anything. So we need to be doing something in these last days, man, where we can make it to where the Most High will hear our prayers, right? So let me ask you, what's the race of your father?
I don't know.
You don't know? So look, we know that Most High, we just read, God here is not sinners. You already professed that you're a sinner. So we need to be doing something in the last days. Ecclesiastes 12:13. So we need to be doing something in these last days, man. Whether you believe it or not, bro, we're here to do our job, which is to warn you.
All right. This is the book of This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. God. So, a lot of times people look for their purpose in life. You have these big seminary schools. You have people going and paying millions and thousands and hundreds of dollars to try to find their purpose, right? They're going off into the desert, walking around, fasting, right? Trying to find their purpose in life, right? So their purpose in life, this is the wisest man on the earth that wrote this book. This is King Solomon. He wrote this book. He said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, to fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So this is your whole purpose. This is your reason for being, right? To do his commandments. There's not just 10, there's 613 commandments, right?
So you understand that? Do you know any of God's commandments?
Yes, sir.
See, this is a problem, bro. You cannot expect to live your whole life and then go up to the heavens and be like, well, God, I didn't know, when you had a whole, 60, probably 70 years on earth to find out who he is. There's gonna be no talking. He's gonna give you your judgment. So let's get on one of the commandments that you break. Then we gonna get it. I think it's 35 and 2.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and 2. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day there shall be to you a holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Right, so today is the Sabbath day. We're not supposed to be out buying, selling, doing anything, not even your own pleasure, bro. You're supposed to be at the house studying. You could be out here doing his work. It's good to do good on a Sabbath day. But if you out here doing madness on his day, it might not be right now, but Scripture says you're going to put to death. It might be later on in your life, and then you have a bike accident, a car accident, and you wondering to yourself why this happening. This is why. You're breaking his law, bro. So when people be on their deathbed, they be like, God, why? God, why? God, why? Because you're not keeping his commandments. The Most High, we on his time. He not on your time. So he'll put you to death when you least expect it. This is something we have to understand. So let's get
I got a scripture.
we just got a couple more scriptures for you, bro.
A couple tells me a lot. Go ahead.
I mean, you ain't really doing nothing anyway, right?
Oh, well, my friends wanted to see me, so I just came down here.
Well, it's exactly why we give you. You're not supposed to be doing anything on the Sabbath day. You'll be put to death for this whether you believe it or not. Because now that we warn you, you testify to it. So it's gonna be worse when you don't hurt you. It's gonna be bad, bro.
God, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 3. Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If thou shalt not watch, I will come upon thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I come upon thee.
All right, so you ain't knowing when he's gonna return. Like I said, when he returns, and if you still do anything after you've been warned, it's not like we some Christian pastors, bro. We're not right here saying speak smooth words to you. We're gonna tell you what it is, bro. You either repent or you get put to death like the scriptures say you are. This is how the Most High prophets always been in the ancient world. Now today, America got you thinking that, you can just say I love God and shake your head and shake your hands and you getting into the kingdom. That's not so. Right? So you say you got something to say.
God, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14 and 15. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter and through the gates into the city.
Right, do you know what that's saying? Right, it's saying blessed are they. Blessed is a good thing, right? Blessed are you when you keep his commandments, that you might have a right pass to the kingdom of heaven. Because as of now, would you say you're gonna make it to the heaven? And you cool with that? Right, so there's something we need to be doing so you can solidify that. Make sure that that's right. You have that right path, right?
It says, for without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth to make a lie.
Right, so these are the type of people right now that's not making it to the kingdom of heaven. You can worship anything, bro, so you don't know if you're falling into that or not. You need to be around brothers like us.